Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for round 9 for the Austrian Grand Prix, and it's been a while since I've done one of these. So if you guys did miss the last episode for the French Grand Prix at the Paul Ricard circuit, then you can watch the episode by clicking the card just up here on the screen and go get up to speed before you watch this episode. Now first of all, before we dive into it guys, a couple of changes to the series. First of all, my face is going to feature on all of the episodes from now on. I'm going to probably start the videos like this, and I'm going to have my face and my webcam basically minimized to one part of the screen during the entire episode. And while I live commentate the races, I'm actually going to be live recording my reaction as well whilst driving as well. So hopefully you guys do look forward to that. It's going to be very, very exciting, and I cannot wait. And also a few other changes. I'm going to get rid of practice. I'm not going to do practice anymore for two reasons. One, because the AI are not very fast developing when it comes to R&D. So I can really outperform the AI in developments, and it's not great, like the AI do struggle to match my speed of development. So to keep it more fair, considering we are already the fastest car on the grid in the Mercedes, we're going to keep it neutral. What I mean by that is the only points we will get will be contract bonuses and also qualifying points and also race points, whatever I get basically from a race weekend. And basically we're going to scrap practice to try and make it a little bit more interesting and keep things a little bit closer between everybody. Also, another thing, I've switched from the full 3-part qualifying to short qualifying. The reason being is because you guys are well aware I've got this glitch where the AI find time whenever I simulate a session, advance time, return to garage, go to flying lap, anything, any part where there's a pause in time or a transition, the AI find time. So to avoid this and try to fix it in the best way possible, I'm going to do short qualifying, because basically the only solution to fix this glitch is for me to watch the entire session. And I don't really have the time, and I don't really want to watch an entire Q1, Q2, Q3 session on the F1 game. So we're going to make it short qualifying. Hopefully strategy is still interesting. That's what I'm kind of hoping we don't lose. Basically, from now on, the short qualifying, I can actually watch that because it's 18 minutes long, whatever it is, and I can just watch 18 minutes fine. I'll do 3 runs in qualifying, and I get plenty of time to basically, it flies by. It's a lot easier than a full qualifying for me. So hopefully you guys can understand. So 3 pretty big changes, with the webcam, scrapping practice, and the short qualifying. And let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully it's a good one. So let's delve into the video, and let's see what we have in store here today. So straight away, we delve onto the laptop. And as you can see, first of all, for this race weekend, we do have rain expected in qualifying. In the race, it's sunny conditions, but in qualifying, we've got rain on the way. So it might throw a spanner into the works in terms of strategy, because it is also expected to dry out halfway through. So this is going to be very, very interesting, especially in the new short qualifying format. That could really set things alight. In terms of the rivals that you can see on screen right now, the situation as things stand, we are beating Bottas by 2 points. Sorry, we're losing to Bottas by 2 points, and we are beating Ricciardo by about 7 points. So things are not going too badly, but I would like to overtake Bottas if possible. And finally, we have the R&D screen. Now, this is a big one for this race, because if you look, McLaren have come alive all of a sudden, and they are the 3rd fastest team. If you look to where they were right at the start of the tree at Abu Dhabi last season, where they were last, McLaren have really turned it around here, and they were one of the teams I wanted to go for this season, along with Renault. So McLaren now back to their old ways, and you could argue McLaren might be back, and it's great to see for the sport, obviously, and great for me in this career mode, because in this series they've not been that fast at all. They've always been towards the bottom, so it's good to see McLaren back where they belong and fighting for the top positions. Now, we delve into qualifying on Saturday straight away, and you just saw there the rain was coming down at Austria. So it's going to make for very, very interesting conditions here, and also a very interesting qualifying session, because when it's raining, obviously, it's not like a one lap, your best 1 lap pace. It's about maybe doing a couple of laps and trying to find the confidence over a few laps, and also burning off some fuel in that process. So let's see what happens here. I'm looking forward to it. I think we can do well. Austria is probably my best track on the calendar in terms of me having the pace over the AI. So it's a good race and good track to go back to, because I've been away from the F1 game for so long. I need a track where I can get back up to speed and be competitive. This is probably the best chance for it. So I'm looking forward to it. We're going to delve straight into qualifying, and in Q1, as you can see, we do have the intermediate tyres on the car, and let's see how this goes. We're going to go manually to track as always now, to try and avoid the AI timing glitch, and we're also going to get a feel for the track basically and see what the conditions are like as we now move on to our current lap. As you can see here, cross the line. That was my first lap on the inters. My best lap on the inters was my second lap, which I did straight after. I basically stayed out. So we're going to run on board here for the entirety of this lap. We're about a second or so off pole, so we need to find some time, and the rain is coming down here at Austria. And straight away, turn 1 was pretty damn good. As we now go into turn number 3, you're looking for the 100-meter board down to second gear. Make sure you focus on your apex, and even more, focus on your exit traction. It's critical that you get a good run out of there and really maximize the speed down the straight here, because it's a very long straight as we now make our way down towards turn 4. Braking late here, third gear action, possibly second to rotate the front end if you really need to. And then on the power, once again, traction absolutely critical around this circuit, you know, out of turn 1, out of turn 3, out of turn 4. It's going to really dictate your overall lap time, and it's important that you do get that right. As we now go across the second sector split, and we're on for a massive improvement here, only a couple of tenths off first place, as we're currently all the way down to P13 now, so we need to keep improving because people are going faster elsewhere. A little bit of a screen freeze there as we now make our way into the penultimate couple of corners, and it's all about keeping it clean, keeping the lap together and making no mistakes as we now go through the final couple of corners here. Raikkonen now going P1, and we go across the line, and we do go fastest. We overtake everybody and we take first place here in Austria. A great lap there, and I was very happy with that one. And I came back into the pit lane after that because I was pretty happy. I had a little bit more fuel in the car, so I know I've got some pace to burn. But then I went back out on a fresh set of inters, and by the time I went out, the track had actually dried up a bit. I did an out lap, and then I started my time lap, and I was up by 2 tenths. But then DRS, as you can see, got enabled. So pretty much dry conditions time. With 4 minutes to go, it was time to get on the dry tyres. So I abandoned that lap. I was still up by 2 tenths. I could have finished it and probably gone even faster. But we're going to come in and we're going to get a fresh set of super soft tyres, not ultras, supers. We're going to try and go for the slower compound and have the better tyre for the race tomorrow, and hopefully we can try and get ourselves at least into the top 10 and try and compete on this compound. So once again, a full lap of the circuit here, out the final corner, going through the gears, and pretty much for turn 1 you want to try and open up as much as you can. Brake at the 50 more or less, and then you want to really attack that first apex. Don't run too wide, otherwise your lap will get invalidated. As we now go through the gears on the power, and we're looking for the brake point into turn 3. Once again, you want to brake just after the 100-meter board down to second gear and really focus on your apex and also traction, which is really important. Straight line in the car as much as you can, bear to the right hand side for the shortest one, and the flag is now out as we look for the brake point once again just after the 100-meter board down to third gear. I actually used second just to rotate the front end because I ran in a little bit deep on the brakes, and then again on the power, going through this little swooping right and now down the hill through the left, really attacking that inside curve. Let the car run out wide to maximise speed, and once again bring the car in for the next left-hander. Then got the power, keep it nice and clean, don't run out too wide there, otherwise you will get invalidated. And now 2 more corners to go here, all or nothing. Throw the car in there, let the grip just do it what it's got to do, and you just hope the car will stick. Final corner, nice and wide on the exit there, carrying the speed through, open up DRS and across the line, and it's going to be P7 for us in the Austrian Grand Prix qualifying. So not too bad, and the only man to go for the super soft compound tyres, with Sergio Perez on pole and Fernando Alonso in second place in the McLaren. Fair play, really good job from Fernando, and again a sign that the McLaren is improving, whereas Stoffel though only P12. Bottas as well, P14 in the other Mercedes on the Ultra Soft. So all in all, a top 10 start, and we've got the supers on the car. It looks good for the race tomorrow, but hopefully we can pull it off. With that being said, qualifying's done. Now let's move into the race.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship, except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Martinez. That was a great podium in the last race, so can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out will have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, with Nico Hülkenberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Sainz, Martinez, and Gasly, Ericsson, Magnussen, Grosjean and Stoffel van Dorn, Alonso, Ricciardo, Esteban Ocon. They've taken a grid penalty. And Vettel, Stroll, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Brendan Hartley. Bottas and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right then, here we go. It's race day at Austria, P5 on the grid. We got promoted 2 places after qualifying, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this one pans out. We've got a couple of Renaults in front of us, and also a Ferrari, and I think a Red Bull from what I can see. I think Alonso got demoted. I've got my gloves on because my grips are dirty, so I want to try and avoid that. I've explained that before, don't worry, it's a long story. So yeah, we're going to jump into it. Race strategy though, for you guys that don't know, we have a one-stopper with the super softs onto the softs, and they're pretty straightforward. Fuel wise, we are 0.7 over. I might just increase that to 37, so 1 lap more extra fuel. But the one-stop is the strategy to go for here today. Not much time difference in the two, but I just want to have track position because I think I've got a good pace, and I know that soft tyre is a good tyre to be on. So let's see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. I do enjoy Austria, and hopefully we can have a good result and try and extend our championship lead. So let's just jump into it, and it is now time for round 9 for the Austrian Grand Prix. Right then, here we go. We're going to get ready for the 5 red lights here at Austria. Lights are on and they are off. Not a great start. The AI, as per usual, getting a ridiculous start. Into turn 1. Oh, it's just so close. A little bit of contact there with a couple of cars, but we do manage to stay in front and retain our 5th place. As we race up towards turn 3 here for the first time this race. Perez seems to lead the way in the Force India. He's got 2 Renaults behind him. Raikkonen P4 in the first of the Ferraris. Right then, yellow flag behind, now green. So far, looks pretty good for us. It's all about settling into this race and getting a feel for the car on these conditions with lots of fuel. Also, we are on a slower tyre. Everyone around us is on the ultra softs, so it's important that we weather the storm early on. Gasly all over the back of me in the Toro Rosso, showing good pace already here. But it looks like we've survived lap 1. Now it's about getting our head down here and trying to find the pace and hopefully have a good race. Well, looks like so far, so good. The Renaults are starting to battle in front of us here. They're going side by side into turn 1. Raikkonen's behind. A little bit of contact between Hülkenberg and Sainz. That's going to put them on the back foot. We've got DRS. Hülkenberg doesn't have DRS here. Here we go. Raikkonen goes for the move on the Renault man. I'm hot on the brakes. I'm going to have to go very wide and turn out of it. Hülkenberg on the inside. We get the power down. Can we get past the Renault? I think we have. Yes, we have. We've just edged in front and we are past Nico Hülkenberg. Good stuff. Up into P4. Pretty much just following Raikkonen through there. I was going to say we had good pace, but the cars behind were starting to just catch up. Luckily though, we are pretty strong in the 3rd sector. That's my strongest part of the racetrack, so that allows me to pretty much pull away. Right then, 3 laps in and we're in P4. This is looking good so far. Raikkonen goes for the move on Carlos Sainz into turn 1. A little bit of wheel bang and then a little bit of smoke being kicked up. We're going to follow these guys in the slipstream. Sainz just stays in front for now, but Raikkonen once again trying to go around the outside of the Spaniard. We're going to go into the brake zone of turn 3. They're still side by side here. We're going to focus on our exit. There we go, good bit of traction. This time Sainz has DRS on Kimi. They're going to go for the re-overtake. Sainz does go for it. We're just lurking here, looking very, very racy. Raikkonen though a little bit wide. We have to get out of it. And Sainz retakes P2 for now. Perez in the meantime really putting some distance out ahead in the lead of this race. Right, this is where I'm strongest. The final sector, we're going to really close up to Kimi here. Into the final corner on the power. There we go. Good exit. Raikkonen will have DRS on Sainz. We go up into overtake mode. Into turn 1. Can't quite pull it off. We go for the switchback. Raikkonen holds on though. Those ultras still working well. Again though, he's going to be on the back foot and vulnerable as we race up towards turn 3. What are we like on the brakes? Late on the day, down the inside. There it is. Job done. Move done and dusted. We're into P3. Good exit as well. We put some distance between ourselves and Kimi. Now let's try and chase after Carlos Sainz. What a race this is so far. It's kicked off in a big, big way. We're only 5 laps in. Right, then we're starting to put the pressure on Sainz a little bit now. Starting to find my pace again within the dirty air of another car. Through the final corner. getting that exit perfect on the power. We're a little bit far back for a move into turn 1, I think, as we do a personal best. But I'm going to get close and try and get him into turn 2. A little bit hot on the brakes there, but we straighten up the car quite nicely. Raikkonen is lurking behind, so we need to be careful. Overtake ERS and Rich Mix flowing. Are we close enough to Sainz? Not quite. Sainz does go defensive a little bit into turn 3. We focus on our exit. There it is. Good traction. Sainz pretty good as well, but we were pretty much matching him on this tyre. Here we go again. Down the inside to turn 4. Oh, it's close. We just get him though. And we are past Carlos Sainz for P2. Good move down the inside. And we're now in second place in this Grand Prix on these super soft tyres. Good stuff so far. Very consistent pace, matching my personal best every single lap. Always within a tenth of a second easily of my personal best, with the fastest final sector that time round. And just generally good pace. Sainz is currently P3. We've pulled away from him now. He's battling Raikkonen. We're slowly catching up to Perez now. Starting to really pick up the pace as those ultra softs start to fade. We're now starting to come alive in this race. Okay, Raikkonen comes in behind in the Ferrari. So early stop, that could be a 2-stopper right there from Kimi. Perez stays out. There is a real possibility that some cars from the Ultras could still pull off a 1-stop, so that's why it's important that we got this super soft in the car to really guarantee the 1-stop strategy, because my guess would be that Perez might try and go for the 1-stopper in the Force India, because that Force India is probably one of the better cars when it comes to tyre wear, so Perez might be someone that we are racing for position here today. Perez still staying out here, which is, like I said, I think he's trying to go for that 1-stop strategy. We're still running at a strong pace, gap now down to 1.7. I'm having to do a few laps of medium ERS though to manage it, because I am running it pretty low. But we are closing the gap to Perez, that's the main thing. And I reckon I'll be onto him hopefully pretty soon. 1.2 now, I'm on the cusp of DRS. Really close to Sergio here. I reckon he's probably going to come in this lap, if not this one, then probably the next one. But we're looking very close with a screen freeze there. Okay, Sergio Perez comes in as Brendan Hartley retires from the Grand Prix. Perez into the pit lane. You can see there, he makes his way in. We're now going to inherit the race lead. And to be fair, oh, Lance Stroll out as well. Right. I think we're going to come in this lap. I mean, this is my scheduled pit stop lap. Perez onto the softs as expected, so he's going for the 1-stop. We're going to come in this lap, so we need to push here. We need a strong in lap. Right, into the pit lane then. Pretty decent in lap. Nothing spectacular. Oh, keep 2 wheels in. There we go. Into the pit entry. Trying to attack it as much as we can. Slow it down. Oof, that was close. 78. Damn, that was close. My eyes probably lit up there. Right. 2.5. Not a spectacular stop, but it will do. Let's see where we rejoin here. Grosjean's coming P2. Perez P3. Here they come down the pit straight. So Grosjean's going to hold up Perez a little bit here. We're going to get up to speed. Grosjean and Perez side by side. We got Sebastian Vettel there on super softs. I don't think he's going to be competition. I think he's got to come in unless he's on a different strategy. But Perez has now got past Grosjean for the lead. So we've got 20 laps. You can see the visual gap to Sergio Perez. And now we're on equal tyres. So we should have a bit more advantage early on. But we've definitely got work to do. Raikkonen behind me on fresh ultras. He's on a 2-stop strategy, so he could be one to watch out for. He might be on the back of me very soon. But let's try and switch these softs on and try and win this race if we can. Oh, okay, Grosjean and Sebastian Vettel both come in. We're going to get some DRS courtesy of Sebastian Vettel there by coming into the pit lane, which is going to help me out in terms of staying ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. But we inherit, or re-inherit more like, second place. And now we've lost some time with the Perez in that pit stop phase, but not too much. Now it's about trying to get back up close to him and trying to actually get past him this time. Raikkonen is behind me though, he's lurking. We're going to have to watch out for him as well. Right, fast up of the Grand Prix, 105.6. And we've managed to stay in front of Kimi. Raikkonen does have the edge on me through sectors 1 and 2, but sector 3 I'm so strong and I make up so much time. But we definitely gained on Perez there. Looking good so far, but I am burning on my ERS pretty damn quick around here. So while I'm in hot lap, I've got to make it count. Right now the race pace is so strong in this race. One mistake and you're in trouble. It's all about keeping your nose clean. Oh, that didn't hit that curb right. Got a lot of momentum lost there. still though, good pace. Literally just out of a second behind Perez. 1.08. Just a whisker off. I'm trying to get close, but I don't think I can get close enough. That Force India is a bit too quick. But we're definitely starting to knock on the door here. Oh, very wide through there. But I carried the speed, and now we've got DRS on Perez. Here we go. It's showtime. Pretty much matching my personal best. And now Perez is in trouble as we start to knock on his door. Can we get past? This lap looks a little bit far back at the moment. Not really close enough for a run on the Mexican. We're definitely starting to shake off Raikkonen though, which is good news. Personal best and fastest first sector. Oof, not the best exit through there. That's going to buy Perez some time, so maybe not this lap, but we'll be close for the next one. Right then, here we go. Raikkonen is out of my DRS. He's over a second behind. And we are a lot closer to Perez this time around. I'm really carrying the speed through these final couple of corners. This is where I'm so strong. DRS open, little screen freeze there, but nothing to worry. In the toe of Sergio now. We're going to set ourselves up through turn one. A little bit too wide there, missed my apex slightly. I need to try and get closer. Raikkonen actually pit in that lap, so he's had enough of those ultra softs. Can I gain some ground here on the braking? Yes, I can. Get a good exit maybe. There we go. It's a good bit of traction. Not really close enough though, unfortunately, to Perez. So far he's getting good traction out of the corners, Sergio, and that's buying him some time, and I can't really get close enough. My straight line speed's okay, but that Force India, we know how strong that car is on the straights, so I can't really get close enough to him at the minute. Here we go again, through the final couple of corners. Keep it nice and clean this time, and I might be on Perez. There we go, we're closer than we have been. DRS, but look at the acceleration that Force India gets right at the start of the straight. It just buys him enough time to really open up the gap. This time through turn one, a lot cleaner there through there. Keeping our nose clean, but Perez just gets such good acceleration. It buys him enough time to the point where I can't be close enough come the end of the straight. Into turn three. Focus on that traction again. Good exit, but that Force India again just running away on the straight. I'm going to go lean here and try and save a bit of fuel because I seem to be using a little bit more in standard. But Perez is doing a fantastic job at the minute, focusing on his exits, keeping it clean, and that is doing the job for him at the minute. Again, very close this time into the final corner, attacking the apex on the power. This time we go hot lap a little bit earlier on the ERS. We are close this time. This could be the one. Into turn one. Perez goes defensive slightly. He's going to put it on the back foot. Oh, there we go. We just edged through. Little screen freeze, but we've made it work. Perez, though, coming back at me, even though he doesn't have DRS. And I'm running hot lap ERS. Oh, my days. Down the inside of turn three. Secure the track position. Focus on the traction on the exit there. And there we go. That is what we're talking about. And we are now in P1 in the Austrian Grand Prix. Job done. Now we've got to try and pull away from this absolute rocket ship on a straight line. Right, there we go. Gap to Perez 1.1. I've done enough. Now it's all about maintaining the gap, maintaining the pace, and trying to bring this one home. We've got pretty much 11 laps to go, so let's secure this W. Oh, VSC deployed out of nowhere. Not much of a concern. I think I've got it all pretty much under control, but gives me a chance to save fuel, which I'm struggling to get and keep on target, and also save the battery in the engine. But no retirements on screen, so I'm not really sure where that's come from, but I'm not complaining. It helps me also cool down the tyres and just bring things down a little bit. But all in all, it's looking pretty good. We're pretty comfortable. Pierre Gasly out of the race in the other Toro Rosso, so a double Toro Rosso DNF. Back to my point, we've got a good pace. We're keeping Perez behind us. The VSC is now coming to an end. Let's make sure we don't speed. There we go. Probably lost a bit of time to be from that Delta. Look at that, Gasly there has actually hit the wall. So Gasly there in the middle of the pit straight. Not sure what's happened. I watched that back on the replay. Either way, back up to racing speed. Let's try and pull a gap out to Perez again if we can, because I think he's just within DRS range. There we go, strong pace in the restart, within a tenth of my personal best, and the gap to Perez now up to 2.2 seconds, and the danger has been averted. 4 more laps to go. Let's bring this one home. This will be a very nice W if we can win this. Perez is absolutely flying all of a sudden now. My pace is still strong, only 3 or 4 tenths off on personal best, but he's within a second. Perez tried to go for a last-ditch attempt to try and win the race, but didn't quite work out for him. We go through the final couple of corners, and here we go. We're going to come through to win the Austrian Grand Prix. What a performance and what a race, and we pick up a massive 25 points, but what a race that was. Now let's move into the race results and let's see how everything else shapes up after that race.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today.
Right, so looking at the final race results, we win at Austria ahead of Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz third place in the Renault, fair play to him, Kimi Raikkonen P4, Nico Hülkenberg P5, and Sebastian Vettel, my championship rival, P6, Esteban Ocon 7th, Alonso P8, Marcus Ericsson 9th, and Max Verstappen P10. All in all, not too shabby. As we now look at the standings, we lead by 37 points over Sebastian Vettel, which is pretty damn good. And Perez jumps up into third place with that win, relegating Bottas, Raikkonen and Ricciardo down a position. And all in all, that's pretty damn positive for us. In terms of the constructors though, as you can see, we lead by 39 points over Ferrari. So this is looking pretty good for us, and things are definitely looking positive as we continue on in the European season. But all in all, a great race here at Austria, and we're now going to move into the laptop. Right, so here we are then on the R&D tree. Now we have 2,100 points to spend, so there's lots of different things we could do here. Ultimately, looking at the races coming up, you know, we've got Silverstone, we've got Germany, Budapest, and then we have Spa and Monza power circuits. So realistically, 3 weeks for these engine upgrades to arrive. We are third from bottom on the engine side of things, so it's about time we did some engine upgrades. So we're going to get the one that takes 3 weeks, which is going to cost 1,900 points. It's for the ERS, so we're going to get that on the car, and that should arrive for Hungary. Hopefully that goes well. Then we can now focus on this one here for fuel consumption, which is the ECU, and then we'll get this little one, which is for the intercooler for engine power. But those 3 upgrades should push us right towards the top in the engine department. But all in all, that's going to be it for the upgrades. That should take us above Ferrari, but obviously we need to do some more upgrades from there until then. Chassis-wise, we're actually quite weak apparently according to the game. We need to improve. Even though we're second, you can see in the bottom there, it's our weakest part. So all in all, hopefully we can improve slowly and surely. But all in all, if you guys did enjoy this episode of Career Mode, then please do drop a like on the video. Also, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content. And also, turn on notifications, guys, to not miss a single video from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen right now if you have missed them. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.